What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another fresh commentary. Now guys, everyone has been praising Sonic Frontiers for its vast open world, fun gameplay, and all the new things that the game brings to the table for Sonic games. Sonic Frontiers has definitely revolutionized how Sonic games will be now, mixing up its classic formula of it being a 2D or 3D platformer, I should say, to it being this new open world experience that's fast paced with tons of enemy encounters, boss fights, side quests, and more. Personally, I did not expect this game to be this good. I was going into it waiting for it to go downhill, but I've been having a great time with this game. I'm like super addicted. I can't play anything else right now. That's how good the game is, but it's not perfect. The game was clearly rushed and could have been far better than what we got. Seems like they were just working on the final touches of the game, working on polishing certain parts of the map to make this the best Sonic game ever, but had to quickly give up on their vision and straight up just worked with the tools they had, and instead spawned in some materials already set on the worlds for players to work with, and that's it. Because most of the time they're reusing designs, and in places like Chaos Island they lock you into this 2D space, which I absolutely hated. Considering it's an open world game, I should be able to run around and do whatever I want, but no, they restrict certain parts of the island when it seems like we should have access to these parts. Even some players have managed to glitch inside of these spaces and play around, so it's pretty obvious the game was rushed to avoid a delay. Not to mention the same enemies and encounters almost every time. Like, how many times am I gonna fight this thing? Plus, from what I've seen so far, the bosses are the only thing that has a unique design. Everything else looks like it was just scrapped together. Like, at least add some better textures on these mechanical monsters. It just looks so plain, like they just took presets from a real engine or something. And the grind it takes to work through the campaign is so annoying. Like, why do I have to perform these errands just to find out what happens next? But to be fair, it's all a part of the open world aspect of these type of games. I'm kind of used to it at this point with games like Far Cry. That drove me even more insane. So Sonic's grind isn't really that bad, considering we do have the fishing minigame too. But there's one thing we can all agree on that's bad. It's the cutscenes, man. You can't lie, they could have looked way better, especially for a Sonic game. There are moments when the animations look terrible. Like, there's no way in hell I pay $70 to get these cutscenes. And actually, on the Switch version of the game, there's been many reports that the sound during a cutscene ends up moving faster than the visuals. And I'm on PC and that happened to me a lot already. And judging by the reviews on the game, I'm not the only one. Like, imagine spending hours grinding and you finally get to watch the next cutscene only for it to be glitched. That absolutely sucks. So the game clearly has a lot of issues, but to be fair, no game is perfect. But these are basic things that any game should have working properly in order for us to actually be able to enjoy it. And either way, we're still enjoying the game. We have no choice but to deal with these things because they won't be fixed anytime soon. Yes, I know some patches have been rolling out here and there, but it's still not enough. There are just far too much problems and we just have no choice but to deal with it. But what if I tell you there's a way for all of this to actually be fixed? That's right, there's a way to better improve Sonic Frontiers so that all of the floating tracks in the sky can be replaced with better structures. The momentum in the game is something a lot of people are also upset about. This also fixes it. Physics and platforming adjustments too. And this is all a work in progress as a form of a mod for Sonic Frontiers. That's right, mods are actually fixing the game. There's already been countless uploads on Nexus Mods and other modding sites for this game that add so much more to this game that better improves everything we already love about it and everything we hate about the game, as well as some extra content to enjoy, like this Giganto Gangnam Style mod that's been going viral. I'm sure all of you have seen the footage on this man dancing. I personally intend to try out this mod soon, so stay tuned for that on the second channel. But it's crazy, like, I was gonna buy this game on my PS5 since I usually prefer playing on there now instead of my PC, because to be fair, nothing works on PC anymore. Like, look at what happened with the Callisto project. But I just had to pick this game up on Steam because I wanted to see what the modding community could do to it. To be fair, we all went into it thinking it was gonna be bad, and I just knew that if it was gonna be bad, the modding community was just gonna make it good, just like Cyberpunk. And anytime a game is bad, these guys always go nuts and fix everything and patch up all the problems as well as add some extra content for us to enjoy, because it's what they do. Modders always come in clutch, just like when Cyberpunk and Elden Ring came out. And now the same thing applies for Sonic Frontiers. Ever since the game's launch, Sonic Frontiers has managed to pull in a strong modding community, which in my eyes isn't really surprising considering how the previous Sonic games like Generations have had the same support. But so far, all the mods for Frontiers have been super helpful. They fixed a bunch of gameplay issues, like this recent one that came out called Shut Up Sonic. It adds an option to mute his voice entirely, because for some reason this was a very big request from the community. I guess most players just hate Craig's voice. I think he's the best voice for Sonic. I don't know what they're on, but I guess for some people who don't like his voice, this was the perfect solution. There's also a mod for custom animations animations, to improve the cutscenes because like I mentioned before, they're terrible. And another gameplay changing mod is by this user named MarleyTB on Game Banana. His new mod overhauls how Sonic runs and platforms around the open zones and cyberspace levels. Also gives a new alternative for max speed, better control of jumping, and a change in momentum based on what surface you're running on. This mod pretty much overhauls every aspect of the game, and it makes it more enjoyable for a lot of people who completely hated the game's original physics and platforming mechanics. I don't think there was anything wrong with Sonic's speed in the game or any one of the game's mechanics until I've seen what this mod can do. It actually makes everything a lot more smoother compared to the vanilla version of the game. The mod was only posted a few days ago and it already has tons of downloads. Soon this may be the most popular mod of all time for Sonic Frontiers, because judging by all the reviews, this was the main issue a lot of people had on the game. A matter of fact, before the game even released, a lot of people were complaining about Sonic's speed. We pretty much got used to everything else I mentioned, everything that's a problem like the cutscenes not being so good, the floating terrain, the weird game mechanics, and the list just goes on. But I guess these mods are really making the game a lot better. Some people will hate certain aspects of the game and some people will like it. And then there's a small group who don't care or see a problem with anything. But you can't lie, there were definitely certain things with the game wrong that if they were right, the game could have been the best Sonic game of all time. But this is Sega's first shot at an open world Sonic game, so you gotta give them props because they didn't really do that bad. I bet the next time they go at it, they'll do their very best and it'll be amazing. But for the time being, I knew these modders were gonna fix this game. They always do. These guys are the true heroes in any gaming space. They do what the developers can't even do. And in this case, they managed to make an already incredible game even more incredible. My only complaint is that the mod is still work in progress, with some people claiming this fan-made mechanic for the game actually makes Sonic unbearably slow. And yet people keep complaining, even though the person behind the mod has come out numerous times saying that the mod is still being worked on and to look forward to future updates. And he'll find other alternatives to have better control in Sonic Frontiers. But either way, all of these mods have been fixing the game. I just feel like this one is worth mentioning the most because it's an absolute game changer. I feel so bad for every other platform that can't try these things out because these mods actually do make the game far more enjoyable. And it's all thanks to the modding community fixing this amazing new Sonic game. You don't know how many times I've seen so much comments of people saying that they can't play without this mod now. And at this point, I agree with them. They really did fix the game. Pretty much it. Just want to chat on this because everything everyone's been complaining about at this point is fixed in a form of a mod. Literally every possible issue you can think of has a mod to fix it. Cutscenes, game mechanics, graphical improvements, and soon even custom maps and more. So if you got this game on PC, don't uninstall it anytime soon because things are just getting started. Pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new, leave a like, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Stay blue.